Hi, I'm Medina County Auditor Mike Kovack, and coming to you today with your tax bill and you for 2010. And joining me today is my Chief Deputy Auditor, Joan Heller, and thank you for coming out to the studios today.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's beyond belief.
Yes, indeed. Well, at this point in time, most of you have probably received your tax bill in the mail. They are going to be due February 12th, and we just wanted to take some time and go over that tax bill with you and maybe answer some of the standard questions that you may have and address some subjects with which you may not have been familiar. And just to start off, we're going to bring up slide 1 here. Hopefully that's a picture of a tax bill. And hopefully you've received something similar to that in the mail. And if you get your taxes escrowed, you may not get that. But on here it shows you some information of what your property is appraised at. There's a taxable value there, which is defined by law. It's simply 35% of your appraised value. Off to the right there, it shows you where your tax distributions go between the county, township, municipal schools, and others. And then under the calculations area, it does show you how your tax bill is calculated, which we're going to get into here in a minute. In 2010, we have a triennial reappraisal that will go on throughout the county. This is a situation where we look at values across the county, and that does happen every 3 years. And we would hope to have values available to homeowners beginning in the June through September time frame. That should be. Now that will affect, those values will be in effect for the tax bills that you receive in 2011.
One of the questions that I get is I bought my house in September last year and I have a tax bill and it's from January 1st last year, and why am I paying for that? And when you buy your home, taxes are escrowed and you should have a settlement statement you can look at and you can see that, but the taxes follow the property, not the person. So,
and just to explain, if you bought your property, say in September, even December of last year, and now you're getting a tax bill in January, and you're thinking, hey, this is for last year, I didn't own the house, and Joan's absolutely correct. If you go back to your settlement statement, you'll have a credit on there for your taxes from January 1st until the date that you purchased the house. And because taxes are paid in arrears, the prior owners would have given you a credit at closing. It's not real easy to see there because it's mixed in with everything else. But that tax bill that does come then in 2010 would be your responsibility. Right. Absolutely. So, let me stop and go back here. If we get a lot, we get some questions sometime, not a lot of questions, but how do you calculate my tax bill? And there's that calculation on the tax bill that you get in the mail. It's a little hard to follow, but we're going to put up on slide 2 here an actual demonstration of how the taxes are calculated. And again, we start off there with an appraised value, and in this example we're going to use $100,000. Under Ohio law, and this differs from state to state, there's no particular reason why this number is selected, but your assessed value, or the value that you're taxed at, is 35% of your appraised value. So we're going to decrease that amount, take 35% of that, and then you're going to bring it down to an effective tax rate. And you would multiply that tax rate times your assessed value, and you'll come up with this subtotal. But then there are 2 reductions that occur for residential property in Ohio. The first is a 10% reduction, and that is applied because of when the income tax went into effect in Ohio. The trade-off was that they gave a 10% reduction on property tax to make up for the implementation of the income tax. Now, the second reduction applies only if you own and reside in the home and you were living there as of January 1st of the prior year. And that's a 2.5% reduction that is given, and those would be multiplied out, and then you take that subtotal and subtract out these 2 reductions, which would give you the taxes for the year. Those are divided by 2 because we do bill twice annually. It's not required, but that's a way to make it a little easier to swallow and handle. And so you divide by 2, and that brings you out to your half-year tax bill. We do have a much simpler way to go about that in case you have questions. We know a lot of real estate agents use this. It's how to compute your tax bill, and actually on the back it shows the 50 some odd taxing districts, and with the multiplication of one number it will show you an approximation of what your taxes would be. And this is very interesting. If you're looking to move, it shows the differences in tax rates as you go throughout the different districts in Medina County.
You can also estimate your taxes by accessing our website at www.medinacountyauditor.org. And there's a what's it, calculator?
Calculators.
Calculators, yes. At the top. There's a tab at the top, and you can click on the calculator and put in your dollar amount, go to tax estimator, put in the dollar amount that you want to get an estimate for, and click the correct taxing district, and it'll come up. It's real easy to use.
If you have not clicked on our website before, we strongly encourage you to go there. Again, it's www.medinacountyauditor.org. There's a lot of information out there on your particular property. You would go to property search on that website, and there's a whole menu there of information you can put in to find your home.
Are there any discounts available for people, Mike?
There are. We get the question a lot. If we go to slide 6 there, that'll put some of that information up. One that is available to everyone if you are residing in your home is the 2.5% rollback that we mentioned before. And again, this tax reduction has to be applied for. If you purchase property in the county, we will mail you out an application in the mail, but it's vital that you return that to us because we cannot put you onto that program unless you positively state that you are residing in the home. But if you go to our website and check your property, you can check on your actual tax bill to see if you are receiving this discount or not. And again, it's you're entitled to it if you are residing in the home, so check that to make sure you're receiving it, particularly with economic times as hard as they are. You don't want to miss out on any tax reductions that you may be entitled to.
And if you're 65 or older, you would be eligible for the homestead exemption. It used to be based on income. It is no longer based on income. If you're 65, you're entitled to that discount. And it's a nice discount depending on where you live. It's based on the tax rate of your taxing district.
Again, if you're 65 years of age or older, you are entitled to that. You have up until the first Monday in June to apply for that. You've got a brochure in your hand there, Joan. Why don't you mention that?
It's help with housing payments. We have partnered with an agency out of Cleveland called ESOP, Empowering and Strengthening Ohio's People. And if you're facing foreclosure or you're just in a real bad situation and behind on your house payments, give us a call. We have people who can do the intake, give your information to the people in Cleveland, and they might be able to mitigate and work with your lender and reduce your house payments. They've been able to help quite a few people in Medina County. The
big part about this counseling system is that it actually allows us to put your information into the hands of the bank or mortgage company. If you've ever tried to get hold of your own mortgage company, you know that's very difficult to do, particularly if you've missed a payment or so. They want to collect that debt, and that's all they want to talk about. Again, if tax bills are out there, they are due February 12th to the Treasurer's Office. We actually don't collect the taxes. They are mailed out and collected by the Treasurer's Office. If you have questions on your tax bill, please give us a call or email us and we'll get that information out to you. We have information on lots of topics we may not have hit on today. We showed you the one pamphlet. We've got the homestead pamphlet and some other items. Those are actually all available through our website. Also, you can download them or let us know. We'll email them out to you. I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. This has been Your Tax Bill and You for 2010. Again, I want to thank my Chief Deputy Auditor, Joan Heller, for coming out to help me. I'm Medina County Auditor Mike Kovack. Thank you very much for your time.